Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stepsbasic and welcome back to my community show. That's the standard one right there. That's why I do on occasions. It's just the same one. Anyway, that's not important. What's important today is, today we're going to be talking about karma. But not specifically the real or the one that applies to the real world. No, we're talking about video game karma. We're talking about the karma choices in video games. I'm not sure if I've made this video yet, actually, now that I think about it. But I wanted to talk about this because I got to reminiscing about like my tough bosses, and I talked specifically about Infamous. And Infamous had a beautiful karma system. One that actually made me feel like a scumbag if I played through it. And a lot of games have done the karma idea. And more often than not, they fall flat. For the most part, like, Infamous did it really, really well. You could make the good choices, you could make the bad choices, and at the end of the game, that will determine the end of the game. Take, for instance, the end of Infamous 2, where how you finish that game, whether you finish it good or you finish it evil, will determine whether or not you actually live or die. Sometimes, actually, funny enough, Infamous Second Son, I didn't really feel the impact of being evil until the very end of it. Because it's like, during the thing, it was like, yeah, I'm just super powerful, kind of neutral throughout the entire game. But then I get to the end of it, and then that's when I see the bad stuff. The end result of being evil, as it were. And throughout the game, it was just mostly just the samey choices here and there. Just, are you gonna be more narcissistic or more for yourself, or are you gonna be more for other people? That's karma, right? Except evil is not neutral. Evil is not necessarily out for yourself. Another game that I thought that I really missed it when it was gone, as far as karma choices were concerned, like Fallout. Fallout 3 had a fun karma system to it, and Fallout New Vegas had more of a faction thing to it. Like, if you side with the wrong faction, you're going to be evil, sort of deal. And then Fallout 4, you don't really have any karma. You have essentially what amounts to, are you going to say yes? Are you going to say snarky yes? Or are you going to say no? And yeah, more often than not, I didn't like that. But the karma system in 3 was fun, because you can be affected by pickpocketing and stealing. You could be affected by killing the wrong NPCs. You could be affected by the biggest one, the bomb in the center of Megaton. If you decide to blow it up, you're evil for the rest of the game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. However, if you choose to disarm it, well, you're good for the rest of the game. Good for you. And that's the sort of thing I like in video games, is the freedom of choice. Now, another thing also brought this up was the recent release of the game Vampire, or Vampire, depending on how you want to pronounce it, V-A-M-P-Y-R. It's all old English and stuff, and you're like in Victorian England running around as a vampire. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen videos on it, and it looks spectacular. Spectacular, man. You get the choice of being a vampire who doesn't want to kill everybody, but has to feed to survive, or the vampire who can go and kill everybody. Now, of course, like I said, haven't seen much of the gameplay, but what I've seen of it, and that, I think, just adds another level to the game. Like, picture one of your favorite games, like Final Fantasy VII, my favorite game. If that one had a karmic choice to it, how would that go? Would the end have you fighting alongside Sephiroth to destroy the planet and bring back Genova? Or would, like, the end of it have you killing Sephiroth and taking his place to destroy the planet? Who knows? And that's the sort of thing I like to think about in these things. Like, I've talked to you before about how I like to, especially if I've played the game a number of times and I'm getting kind of bored with the story, I like to just jump in and kind of make my own story along with it. And the whole machinima aspect of it, well, that sort of thing is something I do a lot in the games. Like, I'll start making my own karmic choices, and I love to add the depth and complexity of an evil character or a good character. And this isn't exactly video game related, but Dungeons and Dragons is one that's really good for helping with helping you understand the dynamic flow of a character. I.e., you have the good character. Well, you have like a whole wide spectrum from lawful to chaotic. Lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good. Lawful neutral, neutral neutral, neutral chaotic, chaotic neutral. And in each and every one of those, if you just go with a basic 3, good, neutral, evil, you have yourself a wide range of who your character is. Like, if the character is good, they follow the law, they do things to help people, they are basically polite and helpful, and you know, they pay their fair share, they'll turn down money when offered for a job. And then you have your neutral, who won't do evil per se, won't do good per se, unless it pertains in a way to benefiting themselves. I.e., I will help this farm that is being raised by gnolls if they pay me. I will go and kill this lord if I get paid for it. Neutral. Neutral's out for themselves, always out for themselves. And then of course evil, where you do things that are just for the sake of destruction. Now, that's where the variants come in, like the lawful, neutral, and evil, or lawful, neutral, and chaotic, sorry, where lawful evil will follow the law, more or less, but will subvert it, much like lawyers. Loopholes. I mean, not lawyers, loopholes. And then neutral evil is just like criminal masterminds. They'll create their beautiful little company and do evil things in the world, but they have a structure to it, and it has to benefit themselves and their company. And then of course you have chaotic evil. A good example of chaotic evil would be the Joker. the clown prince of crime, as it were. And much like Alfred said, some men just want to watch the world burn, and that is the chaotic evil. They will stab you, watch you bleed to death just to see what happens. And then of course, you know, you go back to the good. Like, if you're going to be lawful good, you are the pure paragon of good. You will do good no matter what. You will obey the law. You will help that orphan, even if it means you're going to sacrifice that person over there who's getting mugged, because that is the greater good. And the neutral good, where you're kind of middle ground. You will help anybody. You will follow the laws, and you will do what is right, rather than what is good. And then chaotic good is just you are always doing what is right, not per se good. And you see, that's what I love about the depth, the dynamic that it adds to a story. I mean, first example in Infamous 1 of the choice. You can take the food for yourself, or you can knock it loose and feed the city, or, well, everyone in the area. First act of karmic choice. Are you going to be good and help everybody, or are you going to be evil and just help yourself? I remember playing through that one. I always play it good because I have too much of a conscience, and playing evil characters makes me feel bad. And going through and playing Infamous evil mode hurt a lot. I made a mention of it in the boss video I made. But I mean, like, literally, I felt the weight of my decisions. Like, I see these people be feeling all miserable and stuff because of me, and the sky turns red and everything's all dark and gloomy, and I'm evil and But anyway, that's all I've really got to say about the karmic choices we make as far as video games are concerned, and why I like it as an aspect in video games. What sorts of ideas do you have that may pertain to karmic choices or other interesting gameplay mechanics that you might want to share? Go ahead and write those in the comments below, and I'll get back to them. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to, of course, you can comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, when I can, if I can. You know all that jazz, and tune in next time as we talk about something else. And until then, good night.